Welcome in, everybody, to Titans Tube. My name is Justin. This is Jake, and this video is going to be our Tuesday Night Football post-game reaction. The Titans getting it done in surprising fashion. Who saw this coming, Jake? I mean, 42-16. What an insanely lopsided win against what everyone pretty much objectively thought was a great Buffalo Bills team coming into this game, looking to be one of the top AFC teams. But man, oh man, does Mike Vrabel prove time and again that he can prepare this team for a football game, no matter if there's injuries, no matter if there's, if he has extended time. I think he's like 5-0 when he has more than a week to prepare for a game since joining the Titans as head coach. But man, this one feels good.
Oh my goodness,
good. So Jake, how are you feeling right now? What's your takeaway?
I am feeling ecstatic. I was definitely on one last night. We were recording on Victory Wednesday, that we're going to call it now, with the game on a Tuesday night, obviously. I'm feeling ecstatic. I'm almost glad we didn't record last night because I was definitely on one, and I was kind of spewing some hate the Buffalo Bills way, and I wanted to be a little more courteous. But I will say Bills fans are all over us right now. In our NFL picks game, or NFL picks video, rather, I believe Hawk was the one who said that COVID-19 would be the reason the Titans lost this game. And I think everybody agreed with that coming in. A lot of people wanted us to forfeit. A lot of Titans fans wanted to forfeit this game to keep everybody healthy. We're going to lose anyway. We're going to, all this stuff. And then, in the preview video, I said, don't count them out as much as everybody wants to, and as much as I kind of wanted to count them out in this game. Don't count them out. Vrabel loves playing this team with their backs against the wall, and they came out pissed off, and they came out with a vengeance. They started fast, albeit with the third down defense early. We'll get to that. But this team came out and smacked this Bills team in the mouth, and now Bills fans want to say the COVID-19 pandemic sweeping through the Titans locker room is the reason they won.
They won?
Are you serious? Oh my God, this team hasn't practiced. They've been practicing over a computer screen. Justin, they've been practicing the way we're doing this video for the past 16 days. And you want to say that the Bills lost this game because the Titans had an extra week off. Okay, maybe they did have the bye. Maybe they were a little more rested. But they haven't been practicing together, up until the Friday before this game. It blows my mind that the Bills can make excuses as to why they were blown out of the water, for one. They had extra time to prepare. They played on Sunday. I know they were going to prepare for the Chiefs game, but I think somebody had said it. Vontae Davis, I believe he's still on the Bills. You see, you didn't even hear his name last night. I don't know.
Or is he the guy that retired? I thought he was the guy that retired at halftime from a game last year.
Well, I just cut my rant in half. But anyways, I saw a Bills player say that they did not do any prep work for the Chiefs going into this one. And so I don't know where that narrative is coming from, that they had to prepare for 2 games.
Yeah, but, I saw that too. I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know. And maybe my rant is not valid because I threw out Vontae Davis. But whatever. I am still on one, evidently. And Josh Allen, Who's this MVP frontrunner? He was shut down by a Titans defense who was absolutely decimated. The Titans were 8 starters down in this game, I think I saw. Oh, my goodness. Man, anyways, what are you thinking, man? I came out hot. I'm sorry. Let's hear how you're doing after.
It's all good. It's all high energy, just excitement here. Because, so these first 3 games, Titans squeaking by, huge issues with field goal kicking week 1. Big questions about the defense, particularly the run defense in the following 2 games, getting gashed by the Jags and Dalvin Cook of the Vikings on the ground, just tearing us apart. How without Jeffrey Simmons did we hold their rushing attack to nothing? You see, TJ Yeldon got 52 yards, but that was all, or 34 yards was his long run, and that was at the very end of the game whenever the game was completely out of reach. So that was garbage time. Long run for him. How did our run defense just do a 180 and look stout as ever? I mean, the Titans looked finally. I think I heard someone say this on the radio. The Titans finally looked like the team that we saw against the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs last year. I think this is the performance we were looking for. from this team. I think this is, I don't know if we can expect this kind of performance week to week, because that's almost undoable, and every NFL game is hard. But at least we got to see this glimpse again. We got to see the potential and the peak. And so kind of, I don't know if you want to take the conversation in this way, but how has your expectations changed, or how has your feeling about the Titans changed, I guess, after putting on a performance like this and taking down a top opponent in the Buffalo Bills in the fashion that they did? Do you think, yeah, this looks like a team that can possibly make a run for the Super Bowl? Everyone likes to talk about the Ravens, the Chiefs, and those are very, very good teams, and they're going to always be a challenge. But could it be that this Tennessee Titans team could come out of the AFC and reach a Super Bowl? It certainly looks like it, I think, if they play games like this.
Now, I will say, maybe pump the brakes just a touch. We're only a quarter into the season. Listen, I know. I came out and cited Vontae Davis. It was Micah Hyde, FYI. I just double checked that. I know there's comments already probably below that, wow, this dumbass doesn't know what he's talking about. Micah Hyde was the one who had said that they had done no prep work for the Chiefs this week. But expectations for this Titans team moving forward. Derrick Henry, I just want to get out early and say Derrick Henry has not gotten rolling yet. The stiff arm that he had on
he did
Josh Norman.
He
still can send Josh Norman.
He can still send players into orbit. He still sends players into outer space. So it's good to see that he still has that ability. But as you were saying,
yeah, that big highlight and splash play is overshadowing. I think that he's only at, if he had 3 yards a carry last night, he had 19 carries for 57 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns and the game sealing touchdown. But he's still at 3 yards a carry, and it's being overshadowed. And Ryan Tannehill is actually leading this team. He's leading the entire offense. He's playing. I've heard. I think it was Good Morning Football said he should be in the MVP conversation. Again, I don't know, pump the brakes a little bit there.
Pump brakes there, but I like it.
But Ryan Tannehill is the leader of this Titans team right now, and I don't know what he has to do to get the respect he deserves as a top 10 quarterback in this league. People always want to poo-poo him because he what he did in Miami. But Ryan Tannehill has this offense moving on all cylinders. And note this, they did not have Corey Davis last night, no Adam Humphries, no Cam Batson. Their starting wide receivers, thank God A.J. Brown came back in this game. Yeah, he was their leading receiver with 82 yards and a touchdown. He had 9 targets, 7 receptions. But sorry, I keep going into these rants. I'm so excited, Justin.
It's okay.
Moving forward, expectations-wise, I think the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling coming out of this Bills game. Yes, the Titans are riding high, as I am right now, word vomiting all of these things. If they can go and beat Houston on Sunday and get another AFC South win under their belt, they're going into that vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers matchup 5-0. And Steelers have the Browns this weekend. They could be also undefeated. We'll see about that. That's going to be a great game. Moving forward, this is a good team. This is a good Titans team, and it's the margin of victory in the first 3 games. 2 points to Denver, 3 points to Jacksonville, 1 point to Minnesota, and they finally came out, foot on the gas. The defense put it together late and held this Bills team under 20 points. Talk about an MVP conversation candidate, Josh Allen. He didn't show up really at all. He had 263 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, but he also had 2 incredibly costly picks. One was on the 3rd play of the game to Malcolm Butler. I mean, both picks were to Malcolm Butler, but
one of them was
he looked rattled. He looked not comfortable.
And to his credit, one of them was a dropped pass that bounced off the receiver that Butler was in the right place. But I agree. He didn't seem to look like his normal self. It seemed inaccurate on some throws here and there. Not playing, I don't think, with that confidence. Not hitting people right between the numbers. Something just like clicked or gelled with this defense. I mean, maybe they did end up calling Dean Pease and was like, "Hey, Dean, can you phone in and call the defense?"
We just need a Zoom guest appearance.
Yeah, I think seeing Mike Vrabel, maybe he's pulling out his phone like, yeah, okay, I like that. Good call, Dean. Because something was clicking for him. Harold Landry got the one sack. He got his first sack of the season. Nice to see that. But going back to Malcolm Butler and these turnovers, I did say in our preview episode, well, I said these three things had to happen for us to win. I said Derrick Henry, 100 yards. Didn't happen. I said we also need to commit 5 or less penalties. I think we had 6, but regardless, it didn't happen. And we also need to win the turnover battle, I think was my third thing. I'm just going to say it was my third thing because that was the correct one. Because we got 3 turnovers, 2 of them by Malcolm Butler, a great return on the second one to set up with short fields for the offense to cash in. They did what they were supposed to do, turn those turnovers into touchdowns. And on the kickoff fumble that we recovered near in the second half, we converted that into touchdown. So 3 turnovers turning into 21 points. I mean, if you don't get that, I mean, it's really dumb to break things down simply like this. But then you're looking at a 21-16 game, a much closer game. So those turnovers, as is often the case, can make or break an entire football game. So clutch on the turnovers. Big shout out to Malcolm Butler. And we need to give some praise to Malcolm Butler because I feel like he's in the doghouse a lot with Titans fans. He is kind of a boom or bust
for
cornerback. Sure. He gets burned a lot, but man, he competes. He is a competitor. Man, that was a dumb word. Competitor. So I do like him. I like him, and he's out there without Adoree Jackson. So he's drawing most teams' best receivers, I feel like, for most of the game. So big shout out to Malcolm Butler. I think, if you give out a defensive MVP, give it to Malcolm Butler. He came up with those 2 big picks to completely change the complexion of the game.
Yeah, and, credit to the Bills offense early. I thought they did a lot of great things early. They converted 4 third downs, which I was pulling my hair out early because I said, "Oh boy, here we go again."
3rd and 15. It was like,
because
no.
Yeah, I think
can't believe
3 out of
happened.
4 of those third downs were, I think, 7 or more yards, and it was unreal. I mean, Josh Allen was slippery, and I saw somebody say Jadeveon Clowney should have his own statistical category of almost sacks.
I think that was Buck Rising. I think I saw that one.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they looked good early. Diggs was catching the ball down the field, and I thought it was going to be, maybe the Titans get into a shootout here. But a credit to the Titans defense making adjustments and, buckling down on third down late in the game. I'm not sure what the Bills finished, but they really, kept Josh Allen off of the field. And like you said, when the defense was opportunistic and did get those turnovers, they cashed in on touchdowns. The Titans offense was 6 of 6 in the red zone last night. We're converting touchdowns. That's huge. And especially, going back to the expectations rant, if we're going to have any expectations of playing February football, you got to convert those red zone opportunities into touchdowns, which they did. I thought, Ryan Tannehill and the rest of the offense played a spectacular game. Jonnu Smith showed up big, catching 2 red zone touchdowns in this one.
Yeah.
And Tannehill got some wheels. He was the second leading rusher in the game behind Henry with 42 yards and that touchdown, and he was running for 10 yards a pop. So if this Titans offense can keep rolling, they've put up 30 plus in every game. Get rid of Denver. They've put up 30.
Thanks, Gostowski. Thanks a lot for that.
In 3 out of their 4 games this year, and 40 last night. So I have a lot of expectations with this team moving forward. I want to tamper those because looking forward to Houston this Sunday, short turnaround. That's kind of a game the Titans usually lose, a divisional game they're supposed to win, coming off a huge, statement win, especially after, everything to do with COVID and, he said, she said, what is the punishment going to be? Oh my God, they're missing half of their roster, and they come out and hang 42 on the Bills. I mean, you can't ask for more as a Titans fan, especially watching that game last night.
Man, yeah, you said it. Like this, it's finally like you're always stressed, watching the Titans or really any football game for a team that you're a fan of. But having a comfortable lead like that where you can just kind of sit back and relax and be like, man, we are in really good shape right now. It's such a refreshing feeling to have.
Man. Yeah.
Real quick, going back to Gostowski, still shout out to him. 6 for 6 on extra points. That's what I'm talking about. Low key,
that's
under the
need.
radar, but hey, he's converting them. Like, yeah, that's some Greg Joseph stuff. Don't even attempt field goals. Your job is extra points, so knock them through. So love seeing that. Also, big time shout, like, man, Khalif Raymond, man, undermanned at the receiver position, and we needed him to step up and make some plays, and man, he did. Man, what a conversion.
He had a huge punt return.
Yeah.
That third down and long conversion came right after his, electric punt return. It was, I think, 30, 40 yards. But that burst of speed coming out of there, we finally saw it on a punt return instead of, maybe a long shot downfield. But yeah, absolutely. Shout out Khalif Raymond. Sorry for popping in there.
No, you're good. I hadn't seen that from a Titans punt returner in a long time. I can't remember the last time we had a solid punt return go for that long of a distance. But yeah, big time shout out for him, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know what our expectations are from him week to week. Like we need, like, obviously not having Corey Davis and Humphreys in there, we would love to have had him, come up with some big catches, a big special teams play. And that's exactly what we got. And he was huge against the Vikings when AJ Brown was still out. So have we had a game where, I guess week 1 against Denver was the only game where all of our receiving core was there at full strength. So yeah, we'll get that back eventually. Man, I hope, Corey Davis, I wonder how long COVID is going to keep him out, because he was having looking like he was going to have a career year. So hopefully he can get back on the field, but we'll see.
Absolutely. That takes some attention away from AJ Brown, which I know I said it a little bit earlier, but shout out AJ Brown. God, it was good to have him back.
Man,
especially with the wide receiving core, the way it was coming into this game, with Khalif Raymond being your number 2. If AJ Brown couldn't go, Khalif Raymond's your number 1 guy now. So AJ Brown coming back was huge. It was evident Tannehill was looking for him, coming across the field, and it looked in sync like it did much of at the end of last year. So that was great to see from AJ Brown, especially coming back from injury.
Yeah, it sure did. I wonder if it was a situation where where Vrabel and John Robinson were kind of like nudging him, like, we really need you to be ready for this game. You don't have Davis or Humphreys. Can you kind of just play through whatever kind of bone bruise pain you're dealing with? Or if he was like, I would have been ready this week regardless. Like, there's no pain there. I wonder if there was a little more pressure for him to play given the circumstances. But I don't know. He looked good. I didn't think he was a half a step or a step slow, or he looked kind of like AJ Brown.
Didn't look it to me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He looked fine against Denver too in the first game. And I never saw him come up hobbled, or it seemed like this bone bruise came out of nowhere. So I don't know. Good to see him out there regardless. And making plays. Went 7 for 82 and an early touchdown. Set the tone early. I think that's a big key too, because the Bills were playing from behind like the entire game. I think they tied it at 7, and that's about as close as it got since then. So playing with the lead, Titans not giving up anything, still with a big lead like that. It's really good to see. Really promising that we can, jump on a big lead and not let up. And they make a run, but then we continue to make our run. So maintain that big margin of lead is really encouraging to see.
Absolutely. And against that Bills defense, I did want to note it helped a lot that Tre'Davious White did not end up playing in this game. That's something we had talked about in the preview. If he couldn't go, it was going to be huge for the Titans passing game, just because they were so shorthanded. I don't know if, it's not a 26-point victory if he plays. I think the Titans still would have won this game if Tre'Davious White played. But definitely something of note, and the linebacker Milano was also out. But the Titans, the Bills, credit to the Bills rushing defense. They kept Henry in check all night. Other than the monster sending Norman into orbit stiff arm. God, that made me smile so much. But I also wanted to point out another kind of unsung highlight of the game. Darian Evans got a couple of carries, and he looked quick. He did come out with an injury, and I don't think he returned.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that, because I saw McNichols with 9 carries and Evans with 2. Maybe I missed something, but I was like, that's odd. That's an odd. I thought Darrington Evans was the immediate backup there, but
Yeah.
He was injured.
Well,
So.
Henry was really, really stuffed, and he was, I think, less than 2 yards a carry. It seemed like he couldn't get anything going. And then they did a little sweep out to Darian Evans, and he turned the corner, looked speedy, picked up the first down. And
Yeah.
I just made a note of that. Like, man, Darian Evans, if he can get on the field and stay healthy, he's kind of been going back and forth with injuries thus far this year. But if Evans can get on the field and be a consistent contributor, this Titans offense is loaded, man. We got a good offensive line, a good receiving core when, COVID is gone.
You have something
Ryan
good.
Tannehill's playing out of his mind. And it's just very exciting to see, especially with the defense kind of clamping down, a next man up kind of defense too. It was a patchwork defense. You didn't have Christian Fulton, obviously not a Dory Jackson. Jeffrey Simmons, maybe the best player on the Titans defense, didn't even play in this game. So very, very encouraging game all around, man.
Yeah, big time. That was big time performance by the Titans. And talking about just kind of how that next man up mentality, and how you have something good when or you have like a cohesive offense when Ryan Tannehill looked like he was in control the whole time. He was throwing to different receivers this time. Shout out to Hollister, 1 catch, 12 yards, and even Westbrook. We threw him the ball. Both of these guys got 1 target, and they had 1 catch. Both of them went for first downs. And you know what? That's all we need you to do. Just give us a play. Give us a play or two. I mean, you're coming in a pinch. We're undermanned. We still have A.J. Brown and a couple of really good tight ends that are going to be our primary guys. But every now and then, and Raymond is out there too, but every now and then, we may have a play where we need you to step in and make a play and converge. And they did that. And it's great. It was great. I mean, I don't know. Things were just clicking. I don't know how this team didn't miss a beat, even though they didn't practice. I'd be down to not practice anymore for the rest of the season if this is the team we're going to be seeing. So just kind of just emphasizing the cohesiveness and the gel that this team has, whether it's our starters or backups coming in, and like you said, for the defensive side of the ball too, given all the players we were missing there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and moving forward with this team, I mean, it wasn't a perfect game. It was damn near one. But again, those third downs, especially third and longs, Josh Allen would escape the pocket and make something happen, usually down the field to Stephon Diggs. So that's going to have to improve moving forward. But you love to see the adjustment.
The pass
rush was
not there, really. I mean,
other than the sack by Landry, I mean,
Clowney got close a handful of times.
Almost sacks,
exactly. Sacks, and that's not going to do anything when the quarterback is Josh Allen and he can easily step away or break away for a rush. So,
by the end of the game, I had this written down as well. The Bills were still 11 of 15, I think, at some point in the fourth quarter on third down. Gosh. I mean, that's not going to get it done on defense. They still held them to 16 points, kind of a bend, don't break situation, as the Titans defense has had in the past. But just unreal performance by the Titans last night.
Man, it sure was. Man, I'm still hyped. So we're 4-0. We have Houston and then Pittsburgh.
Feels like 08.
And then and then Baltimore. Oh man, all right, I'm going to change trains of thought a little bit, but the 4-0 start, and especially getting this win after the bye week, I think is hugely important because, man, this team is in it now. I mean, as long as there's no more postponements or delays because of COVID, this team is on track to play like a 12 straight games now. So it's good that I hope we're not peaking too early. I'm sounds like I'm overreacting a little bit to this performance. I'm not saying this is our peak.
I'm definitely overreacting.
But we're going to get like late November, December. I mean, is the season going to wear and tear by the time we get to that point? Because we had this early bye. Will it affect the team down the stretch? Maybe, but that's why it's so important to get these wins now. So that, I mean, if you drop a few games later on in the season, you're still in a good position to either win the division or clinch a playoff spot. So yeah, huge, big time.
Yeah, and stacking these quality AFC wins, maybe not so much quality early on, but they're still AFC wins. Especially against this Bills team, it's going to be huge come playoff time.
Yeah,
Maybe New England does come out of the AFC East, and the Colts do end up edging the Titans, and still got that number one spot in the AFC South, so that's great to see as well. But stacking these wins, stacking these conference wins, and convincingly so last night. I agree. It's going to be huge down the road. It's going to allow more leeway against, the Baltimores of the world, or, when we do have to go to Green Bay or the Pittsburgh game, even in 2 weeks. But, right now, this Bills team was supposed to come in and smack the Titans. The Bills were supposed to win 42-16.
Yeah.
But
they were
in a game the Titans
that's the feeling I had.
Forfeited, and it's unreal. That was the last note I had of the night, was just what an unreal. So moving forward, for sure, get eyes on Houston. Houston is no slouch. They got their first win of the year last week.
Yeah, I don't care.
Deshaun Watson's still going to be on the field.
He's always gives us problems. And we mentioned it. We've only beat a Deshaun Watson-led Texans team once, which was somehow with Blaine Gabbert at quarterback and Kevin Byard throwing a touchdown pass off of a fake play. Mm-hmm. Whatever. That's the weirdness of the NFL. But yeah, Deshaun Watson, I don't care what their record is. He's a problem, and he's going to cause us problems. So we got to come ready to play that game.
And as far as, you had mentioned November and December games, is the season going to wear? That's Derrick Henry time, man. And we've seen it throughout his career. He's got these slow starts. Yeah, he only had 50-some rushing yards last night. But, he does not play his best football until the calendar changes, maybe into, December. And then we saw last year in January. Just being a punishing runner when, guys are worn out, when the season has worn on these defensive players. Derrick Henry plays his best football. So as far as peaking too early, I'm not sure, just because Derrick Henry hasn't gotten rolling yet. I mean, if Derrick Henry was rolling, we would have put up 80 last night.
Yeah. It's interesting. I wonder if it's, you said Derrick Henry doesn't play his best football, or he doesn't really start to get rolling. I wonder if it's that, or if it's by the time November, December comes around, the wear and tear of the season kind of slows defenses down. And that's when he does get rolling, because they're like in the middle of the season, a little banged up, and they're like, this guy is still running like it's week one. Derrick Henry doesn't slow down, whereas maybe the defenses are starting to slow down towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something like that, because we see it all the time. He gets going second half of the season and he's unstoppable. So hopefully, we see that. And going back to the expectations thing and how you were saying, we haven't seen, the Derrick Henry of last year. And if we do get that, then dude, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit for this team. There's not going to be much weakness on this offense. There's going to be no weakness on the offense. I mean, the offensive line is great. Maybe the run blocking could be better, because it does seem like Derrick Henry is running into a wall more often than not. But the pass protection's been really good. I don't know if that's Tannehill. It's probably maybe partly Tannehill.
Getting rid of the ball,
or calling for protections here and there, and escaping with his legs, which I'm sure has some to do with it. But we didn't give up any sacks. I think how many sacks have we given up on the year? It can't be any more than,
I want to say,
5 at most. Mm-hmm. So offensive line, great. Jonnu Smith, career year. A.J. Brown, Corey Davis is going to have a career year, it looks like. Adam Humphries, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, this guy's a top 10 quarterback. I don't want to hear it. Like, if you're not sold on this guy, if you're not completely bought in, then I don't know what you're watching. But this guy is a legitimate NFL quarterback, solid starter. He's setting himself up for a Pro Bowl season. May get into some MVP conversations if we keep winning some games.
He's got to keep it up. He's got to keep it up. So far, so good. He's got to keep it up.
I mean, he's got 9 touchdowns to 1 interception on the year at this point. 1 rushing touchdown from his one last week. So I mean, Ryan Tannehill, man, he's the leader of this offense, and he's taken the lead, while Derrick Henry, is or maybe defenses could be just really gunning to stop Derrick Henry. That could be have a lot to do with it too, with Derrick Henry, struggling to get 4+ yards per carry average, or breaking a long one. So Ryan Tannehill's like, okay, I'll just have a career year myself. So,
And, eventually defenses have to see that and respect that and, stop stacking the box. And then Derrick Henry
be like,
is going to have more lanes to go through.
So we have to sell out to stop Ryan Tannehill now? Okay. Hello, Derrick Henry time. So it's going to be tough. We're going to be a tough offense to stop. Shout out Arthur Smith. We got to take advantage of this guy because he is going to be a head coach like maybe by November. He could be poached in like November. That's the trajectory I feel like he's on. He is a wizard calling plays, or I don't know if it's calling plays. I mean, there is some things, I'm starting to see a trend of stop running the toss play to Henry. Every time we toss it to Henry, nothing ever happens. Like, okay, I mean, you can't have perfect play calling, but I mean, he's got this offense gelling, and he looks like he knows exactly what he's doing. Oh man, he's gonna do the LaFleur. Be an offensive coordinator for one season and go be a head coach.
Yeah, but have much more success under the Titans regime, albeit LaFleur had Marcus Mariota. And
true. Right.
I know that Mariota slander is blasphemous on this channel, but Mariota being the quarterback back then may have said something to do with the stagnant nature of that offense.
Could be. Yeah, looking at what our offense is doing now and then what Green Bay's offense is doing, I think we had talked about that with Sports Fan Entertainment on a video a couple weeks ago.
Who's the odd man out?
Yeah, it's now. Yeah, anyway. Mariota is not in the equation in either situation, sadly. So yeah, super impressed. Arthur Smith, gelling, Mike Vrabel in the defense, gelled for a week. Hopefully that continues. So yeah, I'm very encouraged by the defense for sure. Because Buffalo was making it rain on the opposition. I think they had like 30 points in every game, or I think they had like 27 in week 1, and that was the least amount of points they'd scored in a game up to this point. So, props to everybody. I think Mike Vrabel gave a game ball to literally every player in the locker room, and I think that's well deserved. Everybody deserves a game ball in this game.
Absolutely. And, I wanted to note also another unsung hero in this game. Well, unsung heroes, Brett Kern and Chris Milton seem to be a dream duo on punts and punt coverage. It seemed like every punt that Kern boomed down inside the 10, 15, who was the first one there? Chris Milton either making a great tackle, sticking the returner immediately, or he was downing the punt. Inside the 5, he had one.
Perfect.
So shout out to Chris Milton getting some shine on special teams there, and keep Kern's punting stats up. He'll be another Pro Bowler, except I saw today that they canceled the Pro Bowl for COVID reasons. I think that broke right before we came on, but
pretty predictable.
Probably for the best.
Saw that coming. Yeah.
I mean,
but was, and I'm sure he's made plays in the past. And I know he was a special teamer, and he was, buried on the depth chart as a cornerback, but he played special teams for the most part. But after this game, I'm a big-time Chris Milton fan. Get me a Chris Milton jersey. I mean, that's exactly how you want your special teamers to play. I mean, he was perfect. So, yeah, big shout-out to him. Give him a little special teams game ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Justin, do you have any closing thoughts other than what we've been gushing about? Oh, my God, the Titans on 42 after – the roller coaster of COVID that we've been on for the past 2 weeks. It has been the worst of times, and now it may be the best of times. But we'll see going forward. Because the Titans came out, smacked a contending Buffalo team, a 4-0 Bills team, in the mouth in a game they were supposed to have no shot in. And, they did it without 8 starters. We're only going to get players back like Corey Davis, like Adam Humphries, like Christian Fulton, like Adoree Jackson, like Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, this team's only going to get better from here, you'd think. I mean, I'm going to say that they might lay an egg against Houston. But
could happen.
But, I mean, this wounded duck of a Titans roster they trotted out just played a great game. And like you said, credit, I think every player in the locker room should have gotten a game ball. And I agree with that. And Mike Vrabel, give him a game ball, keeping this team together through this whole mess. So do you have any closing thoughts on what the Titans have been through and what the win meant last night?
We've seen it a lot just in terms of this team not being phased. And when their backs are up against the wall, that's when they play their best. I hope our backs are against the wall every week, because that seems like I said, it seems like that's when we play our best football. So yeah, just huge shout out. Keep Vrabel keeping this team focused and maintaining their composure, and getting the job done. Unfazed Titans. I love this team. I can say that. I will publicly announce that I love this team.
And I will as well. I'm going to double down on that. I also publicly love this team, even though, people in Buffalo are calling for our heads because we somehow cheated by getting COVID-19 and having it take out half of our football team.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's going out to you, Buffalo. I don't apologize for the Titans winning by 26 points.
Never apologize for winning. We went from, oh no, our beloved Titans may get the whole NFL season canceled, to, oh my gosh, we could make a Super Bowl. Like, man, the range of emotions are ridiculous.
Oh my God. Every year. And again, that's why we publicly love this team.
Yes, absolutely. Never apologize for that either. So, I guess that's gonna do it. We're excited. We know you guys are excited about the future prospects of this team moving forward. Houston next week. Is that in Nashville or Houston?
That'll be Nashville. It's part of the 3-game
homestand. That's right. Mm-hmm. Got 3 straight home games. Gotta win at home. So hopefully we can get it done. Deshaun Watson coming to town without Bill O'Brien as coach. It certainly seemed to make a difference last week, but it was the Jags who have plummeted back down to earth after week 1. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. This will be a good test for them and for us too. Deshaun Watson's always a test. So we'll see what happens. 4-0, baby. Feels good.
Feels good. Feels like 08.
Feeling like 08.
Other than the pandemic, it feels like 08.
Right.
So 4-0, you take it coming into this year, obviously, and especially riding high right now after last night's win. God, Mike Vrabel, he's the guy. He's the guy. That is my closing
This is what
thought.
We fired Mike Mularkey for.
Exactly.
We won a playoff game with him, but John Robinson saw he had the foresight to be like, no, this is our peak right here. We need to be peaking even higher. We need to be further along than this team.
Mike Vrabel's definitely the guy. I usually have the nickname Blockhead for him because he's made some questionable coaching decisions in the past. But
sure,
you know what? I am going to officially lift the Blockhead label from Mike Vrabel.
Take that block off and set it to the side.
And I'm going to retire the Blockhead Vrabel nickname publicly on the Titans YouTube channel for this win.
Yes.
God, he's a great coach. Yep. Anyways, you want to take it to the shed, man.
I love it. Let's do it next week. Home against Houston. Guys, thank you for tuning in as we try to close out this episode. Make sure, to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the channel if you like our coverage of this team. We're going to have our picks video and a preview for the Houston game at some point this week, maybe next week. We play on Sunday, right? So this is going to be a quick turnaround.
Correct. Yeah, quick. It's essentially a Thursday night game after Tuesday.
So it's a
wonky schedule.
That's okay. We don't need to practice. It's fine.
No, just practice over Zoom and it'll be fine. We'll win by 20 again.
I'll take it. I will take that. So with that, guys, I look forward to those videos coming out, and take it easy, enjoy this win, and soak it up, and talk trash to Bills fans or don't talk trash? Are we going to be classy?
Talk trash.
Are we going to be classy?
Talk trash. They're being nasty to us. Let's be nasty back.
It's going to be a real rivalry for years to come, maybe. So, we'll see.
It's fun.
All right, guys. We'll tighten up, and we'll see you guys later.
All right. Later, y'all.